Hey, this is my review of Death Before Dishonor 7. This took place in Toronto, Canada, back in July. And yeah, I mean, it was a pretty good show. I mean, looking at the card, it doesn't really look too impressive, but I think this came off a lot better than what people were hoping for. Bret Hart actually made an appearance at this show. Um, but we started off with El Generico versus Sonjay Dutt. This is a great way to start off the show. These two just put on a very exciting match. It flowed beautifully. There's a lot of nice arm drags, not a lot of nice hurricanranas. These two just, I don't know, I thought they just delivered a nice opening match. Went 15 minutes, went to a 15-minute time limit, so the fans were pissed off about that. So next we get JMR Briscoe versus Super Smash Brothers. Super Smash Brothers look great here, but the Briscoes not so much. Jay looked okay, but Mark still coming back from that knee injury. I think this was his first match back, actually. So I think it was his first match back. Yeah, I mean they looked all right. The commentators are kind of selling the fact that Briscoe was still hurt, so really don't expect the old Briscoes here. But this is still good. Like I said, the Super Smash Brothers really stepped up to the plate. I thought they put on a pretty good show. So next up we get D'Lo Brown versus Frankie the Mobster. This is kind of a squash match. Really nothing to talk about here. So next up we get an 8-man elimination match. We get Necro, Butcher, Brent, Albright, Colt, Cabana, and Grizzley Redwood versus the Embassy of Jimmy Rave, Joey Ryan, Claudio Castagnoli, and Bison Smith. A lot of mixed talent here. Some of these guys I really don't care for, but this is okay. It was kind of boring at some points. Jimmy Rave got busted open. Grizzly Redwood got busted open. I think it came down to Colt Cabana and Brent Albright against Claudio and Joey Ryan. So Joey Ryan got to show a lot of what he could do in this match. I'm not going to spoil the ending, but it was like okay. Some of the parts of the match were pretty decent, but other parts were just kind of sluggish. I don't know. It was an okay match. I like the concept though. An 8-man elimination match. I would imagine seeing this live. It was pretty exciting. So next up we get Kenny King versus Kenny Omega. Very good match. These two have a lot of chemistry together. The two Kennys, Kenny Omega looked great. He did his insecurities, his reverse ranas. He pulled out everything here. But Kenny King looked very good as well. I think Kenny King is very underrated, and these two just had a nice match. Problem was the crowd really wasn't into parts of it. So after the match was over, Kenny Omega got on the mic and kind of hyped up how he was going to challenge Austin Aries for the belt the next night. So next up we get Lance Storm and Kevin Steen versus Chris Hero and Davey Richards. I think this was the match of the night. It probably was. Lance Storm looked great here. He didn't look great as far as like his power moves and his punching goes, but his aerial stuff was very beautiful. He looked pretty good whenever he was flying around. He just hit a lot of nice high flying moves. It was pretty dramatic. Hero looked pretty good here. He hit his stiff elbows as he usually does. Hero and David Richards worked pretty well as a team. They hit a lot of nice combination spots. It's pretty dramatic. Storm and Steen both had the sharpshooter on at the same time. The crowd was going crazy for that, and the finish was kind of a throwback to the Hart Foundation days. The crowd really enjoyed this. Like I said, Lance Storm looked. He looked pretty good here, and I thought this pretty much delivered. So next up we get the ROH World Title 4-corner survival match. The new champion Austin Aries defending the belt against Tyler Black, Jerry Lynn, and Nigel McGuinness. This is not as good as the Fatal 4-Way match on HDNet. This is one fall to a finish. It was a pretty good match. I thought a lot of these guys looked sluggish. I thought Nigel kind of looked rusty. Jerry Lynn kind of looked like he was slowing down here. I thought Tyler Black really was the guy that made this match go. Aries wrestled very smartly. Some of the good spots in the match, Nigel hit a lot of Tower of London spots. He hit a double on, I guess it was Black and Lynn, and then Nigel actually did a Tower of London to Jerry Lynn through the announce table on the outside off the top turnbuckle. That was pretty sweet. The exchanges between Aries and Black were pretty decent. It was okay. It was pretty entertaining watching it. I think if you were there live, you probably would have enjoyed it more. The finish featured Lynn actually going for his cradle pile driver, hit it on Nigel. Nigel looked like he was shaking up. I think Lynn kind of got some of Nigel's head. And then there was actually interference from Kenny King that enabled Aries to do his 450 splash. He didn't get the 450 though. He just got a leg drop onto Nigel. Nigel was pretty shaken up after the match. So yeah, I mean, this is pretty good stuff. Maybe this is match of the night. It's pretty much a toss-up. What's the match of the night? The tag match or the four-corner survival? Yeah, this is a pretty good show. I wouldn't call it a great show. I'd recommend it. I definitely recommend watching it though, because it's just a very solid card from top to bottom. So one more time, Death Before Dishonor 7. This is night 1. Night 2 will probably be coming later on. There's not going to be a Ring of Honor show released probably until Thanksgiving. So probably wait a week for night 2. All right.